This is Shabbos Membeis. So we continue that before the Gemara was talking about whether or not you're allowed to teach your daughters wisdom of the Goyim. It's called Yavanis in the Gemara, but it means any secular wisdom. And it says that you're allowed to teach, generally speaking, your daughters secular wisdom, because for her it's an adornment. For a woman to be worldly, it's an adornment. It could be either because they should know business and they should be helped involved in business, especially since they're the ones who go to the market a lot. So they should know math. Also, it's very possible so they could talk stimulatingly with a future husband, or for many other reasons. Shema Shimon Barba Amar, Shimon Barba would hurry and say that begin the Rabbi Avohu by Pelcha Pinase Yavanis, because Rabbi wished to teach his daughter Greek, so who Talei La Rabbi Yechanan. Therefore, he claimed that he heard it from Rabbi Yechanan, but he really didn't hear from Rabbi Yechanan. He made it up because he wanted to teach his daughter and he wanted to have a source, therefore he said it was from Rabbi Yechanan. Shama Rabbi Avohu V'mar Yavoy Alai Im Loi Shamati Min Rabbi Yechanan. So he heard about this, and he said, "Be punishment for me if I heard no such things from Yechanan." Clearly, he's trying to defend himself and said that he actually did hear from Yechanan. Tani, we learned in the Brisa, Ein Yotzin Be'istima, a woman will not go off an istima. Let's find out what that is. Shloisha Devarim Nemeru Be'istima. There are three things said concerning an istima. An istima basically is a wrap that goes on the tail part of the hair. The hair is braided or put into a pony or worn out of the cap, and then whatever is sticking out is wrapped up in this cloth. So ein ba mishum klayim. There's no issue of wearing klayim because it's not really wearing it, so therefore it could be klayim. The einai mitama benegim, and it does not have tsaras. It cannot be susceptible to tsaras. The ein yaitzu Rabbi Shabbos. To not call the Shabbos because it's loose. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, Rabbi Shimon says, "Af ein ba mishum atara lakalos." Also, if it's adorned, it's not under the prohibition that a kala can't go out. After the Chorban by Sheni, there were a whole bunch of prohibitions that were put in place to try to lessen the exuberance and lessen the celebration of the people, and to increase the avelis and to increase the remembrance, and that went on for many, many years. And this was not part of the takana. A woman is allowed to wear it. It's not part of the adornment that is against that takana. V'loi be'ir shelzav. And you knock off the city of gold. Again, we talked about this as a clip that basically looks like the skyline of Yerushalmi. Rav Yehuda says, Kigan Yerushalayim did have. For example, it's a golden Yerushalayim. Rabbanon de Iskarin, the Tsarian Rabbanon said, Amrinan, that Purush Toik Tarkilin. It's called a Purush Toik Tarkilin. And that's the name of it, Purush Toik Tarkilin. And Purush Toik Tarkilin means an embossed image of the city. Maser Rabbi Akiva, Shahaya Leishta Ir Shalzav. The story happens with Rabbi Akiva, who had this city of gold. And he had it fashioned for his own wife. Chamse Istamed Rabbi Gamliel V'Kanyas Ba. Rabbi Gamliel's wife saw this and she was jealous. She wanted it. It's beautiful. Achaz ve'amrat kumibala. She once told and told her husband, Amrele, he said to her, and that he wanted such a thing. Amrele said to her, Hakin dahave yavdinin li kama dahave avdalei. Have you acted on my behalf the way his wife acted on his behalf? Dahave mzavna mekalosa deresh of dahavule. She would sell tresses of her hair and use the proceeds to provide for a living, so that he could toil in Torah. She sacrificed 24 years for his Torah. She sacrificed her own hair to sell stuff so they can make money so he could continue to learn Torah when he came back. If you were able to do such things, and you did such things, so sacrifices, that eventually you get rewarded. He obviously rewarded his wife for all their sacrifices. Obviously, Rabbi Gamliel's wife lived a very different life. They were very rich and wealthy, and clearly she didn't have to go to that far to get it. So he's saying, don't be jealous, because clearly she deserved it for everything she did. We don't know what people have gone through. So when we see someone with nice things, don't be jealous, because you never know what they got through and why they deserve this now. And what I like to say is, while the Chavetz Chaim was very big into stopping Lashon Hara and Rechilas and that type of speech, evil speech, I will say this, that Lashon Hara is not the biggest plague, nor is it the biggest thing that causes Sinas Chinam. The biggest plague on Klal Yisrael and what causes Sinas Chinam is Kina. And Kina is actually one of Zer's Dibris. Okay, in Eretz Hashem, I should put out a sefer on Kina as a project because I think Kina is the most important thing that people have to tackle, especially from people who want to be Torah Jews. Definitely across the board, the whole world could learn and not to be jealous. Okay, so this is a story about understanding the perspective of others. You can also see that sometimes everyone is given a Divinesh Chayil. Not everyone is exactly the Rav speaks. The Rav comes on the pulpit and speaks. Oh, this guy finished Shabbos because his wife was Mamish Mishir Devish for this guy, and therefore he was able to finish Shabbos because his wife was Mishir Devish. Yes, there are women who are Mishir Devish for the husbands, who take care of the kids when the husbands go to learn. And there are husbands who dump the kids on the wife, whether they want it or not, so they can go and be seen by a share and go learn. Clearly, it should be mutual. Hopefully, it is. And there are those who learn and don't dump things on the wife. They let the wife be, and they find time to learn or do their avodas Hashem when it's not a return to the family. Not every wife has to be in Mesiras Nefesh for the husband to learn, and not every husband doesn't feel like the wife has to be in Mesiras Nefesh for him to learn. He could also find time to learn when she's not being Mesiras Nefesh. Sure, it'll be very nice if a wife could be Mesiras Nefesh for the husband and sacrifice for that, absolutely. But it's not everyone's situation. So Rabbi Gamliel is saying it's not everyone's situation. We are wealthy. You did not sacrifice nearly as much as his wife did. His wife was a complete Mesiras Nefesh for him to go learn. They had nothing. And she missed it for 24 years. And he went to learn. It's a very different story. Everyone lives different lives. Rabbi Gamliel was great. Rabbi Akiva was great. And that's how it is. People find the time in their lives to make their lives their own. You can't live a script in someone else's life. That's the lesson. Okay. End of the preaching and the pilpul. Now it's time to continue on. Time to continue on. We learned in the Mishnah, Shnayim Mishem Rabbi Lezer, that two things were learned down in the name of Rabbi Lezer that came before Rabbi Kiva. Yaitza Isha Be'ir Shel Zav, a woman that go out to Ir Shel Zav, Umafricha Yainim Psulin Mina Edus, and someone who bets on pigeons is possible for Edus. Tani, we learned, Rabbi Meir Machayev. Rabbi Meir says he's Chayev Chatas. Or woman, or she's chayiv chatas. So now we have, interesting, Rab Meir says chayiv chatas, meaning it's not a takana that maybe she might carry. Rab Meir is saying she is carrying. Rab Meir holds a woman who goes out with the city selgav clasp in her hair is considered carrying. That itself is malacha. It's not wearing it. It is a malacha. Chayiv chatas, she does it b'shageg. Chayiv kar, she doesn't make it. So now it comes out, we have either you have, on one end of the spectrum, you have mutter, that you're allowed to do it. You have the chamim that say it's usser, it's pater aval usser, meaning you're not chayiv chatos or kares, but don't do it because we made a takana, you should not do it, and you're chayiv b'drabanan, and because the person might come to sin, so therefore it's a chiyuv d'rabanan, it's a shavus. And then you have a mayor who says it's a deraisa. So you have a deraisa, you have a rabbanon, and you have completely mutter. Do we ever see such a thing? I don't know. The Gemara also doesn't know. Bein Rab Meir Rabbanon Nicha. According to Rab Meir and Rabbanon, it's fine. Rab Meir Chayiv, he says that it's Chayiv Achatos. Acham Paiter, they say no, it's Pater Ben Achatos. Bein Rabbi Lezer Rabbanon also Nicha, it's also good. Because Rabbi Lezer Matir, Rabbi Lezer says Matir, Chacham say no, it's Usser. Okay, that's fine. Bein Rab Meir Rabbi Lezer, but between the Chayiv Chatos and Rabbi Lezer, who says it's completely mutter, it's not even a shvus, that's a stretch. How are we so far apart? All right, Tzarachim. Sagt the Gemara weiter. Rabbi Minyani bar Soisai Amar Misham Rabbi Leiezer Kal Makam Sha'amru Loi Seisei, wherever the time say that she may not go out, the Im Yatza Cheves Chatos, then she does go out as a Chayiv Chatos, unless the Mishnah says that not Chayiv Chatos, like the other Mishnah specifically said she's not a Chayiv Chatos, she goes out with them. So also let's say it's by B'chatzer, then she's also forbidden to go into a courtyard. Kal Makam Sha'amru Loi Seisei, all times it says it's good to not go out. But if she does go out, like the Mishnah says, she's not chayv chatos. Mutaris, let's say, by chatos, she go out in her own personal courtyard. We're not worrying that she's going to continue out into Rishus Rabbim, go from Rishus to Rishus. Rabbi Ba Bar Kayin B'Shem Rav Sheshes. So Masnisin Amerkain. The Mishnah said like this: Ubechavul ubefeyo nachris bechatzer. That's the wool and cap or the wig. You can go in the courtyard. Rabbi La B'Shem Rabbi Shimon Rabbi Chia. That afilu a makam she'amru leitzeisei, even a place where it says you cannot go out, the im yatzas enei cheves chatos. If you do go out, you're not chayv chatos. So Atzla says boy lechatzer. So if she's ushered to go into the chatzer, that's only drabanan. Because she doesn't go out, it's not chayv chatos. It's only drabanan. So if you're not going to let her go to the chatzer, it's only also because of the drabanan. The ish. What about a man? What can a man not go out with? Since a man is not boastful about jewelry, is he allowed to go out on Shabbos? The Gemara says, Nishmanya min hada. Let us derive from the following: Rabbi Gamliel, Rabbi Yorad, L'tayel b'soy chatzrei b'Shabbos mafteach shozah b'yadai. Rabbi Gamliel, the son of Rabbi, went down on a stroll in his courtyard on Shabbos with a golden key in his hand. And the governor boy Mishem Tachshet, but his colleagues rebuked him for bringing out jewelry. So clearly the key must have been on a ring that he was wearing it, and it was meant for Tachshit, and it was meant for jewelry. It was not meant really to open a door. And yet they said you should not do it. So technically, could a man do it? Yes. But I was going to say they shouldn't do it. Hada Amar Asa L'Shem Tashchid Aser. This incident, Rabbi Gamliel says that it's forbidden as an ornament. So Hada Amre Asu Lakach Lakach. So what happens if it says it's forbidden to go out? It's made for both purposes, for an ornament, and what about for actual key? What else? Actual implementation. Hada Amar Echad Ish V'Echad Ish Haisha says that both for a man and woman to go out such items. So Hada Amar Afilu Makam Shamru Leitzeisei. So it says even the time state where a person will not go out. Im yatzas enechem chatos. If she does go out, she's not liable for chatos. Also, it says by b'chatzer. She's been to go out with an item in a courtyard. Now we are up to halacha beis. Lo yitzei ish b'sandal masumar. A man may not go out with a hobnailed sandal. It's basically a sandal that has a big nail sticking out from the front. It's not covered over. And also, the nail is on the bottom, and it makes a very loud noise on the street as you walk. Loi biyachid, and you not go out with a single sandal. Bisman she'ein berag loi maka, and when his foot does not have a injury. In other words, if he has an injury, he's allowed to do it for an injury, but if he doesn't have an injury, he can't go out with only one sandal. Loi b'tefillah, he can't bring his tefillin out, and there's a machlokes tanaim whether or not you have to wear tefillin on Shabbos or not. I think we paskin that we don't wear tefillin on Shabbos. V'loi b'kameya b'zman she'inai mina mumche, and we don't wear a kameya, an amulet, where it was not been confirmed by a mumche, by an expert. V'loi b'shroyan, nor with a coat of mail. V'loi b'kazda, a helmet. V'loi b'magfayim, and now with iron leggings. These are obviously parts of armor. V'em yatsa, but if he went out, ene chayv chatos, he's not chayev chatos. Okay, Zok the Gemara. Bifnei ma gazru al sandal misumar. Why can't you go with a hobnailed sandal? Yesh amishu royis es roishay umafilos. Some say that a pregnant woman can see the big nail and get scared of it. Yesh amishu ayu shaymais karlois umafsil. And some say that she's going to hear the stamping and she's going to get scared and she might miscarry. And also other people are going to hear the pounding, and they're going to push each other thinking enemies are coming. And they may kill each other. What What's the difference between these different shitas? So ha dusta. If it's a dusta sandal that basically the nail is covered over, but the bottom nail still clobbers at oisketon. So ma demar hayorois el roisha mafsilas mutter. The one who says a pregnant woman's going to see it and miscarries, and it's mutter, it's fine because she doesn't see it anymore. A man demar shahayu shaimois colors mafsilas. The one who says the pregnant woman's going to hear, "Oi, shayin dechadin zevazel, hargin zevazel." People are going to push each other because they're afraid that Romans are coming. So also then it's forbidden. V'loy b'shas hashmad gazru. They not issued a decree only during oppressive governments. So mechayvan she'avar shmad yehemuter. So therefore, when it's not oppressive governments, it's shemuter. Loy amad bezdin ubitel. No bezdin came up to be mevatlet. So therefore, the decree stood. Mayata filu b'chayil. But now, what about even during the week, right? Then even during the week, it should be a sakana that she can even miscarry. People are going to push each other. So la vaychrei derav nasa mehevi lay train sandon. People don't usually have two pairs of sandals, one for weekday, one for Shabbos. So chad lechulzol v'chad l'shuta, one for weekday, one for Shabbos. Therefore, saying that it's not allowed on Shabbos also means you can't go on a weekday because you can't use those sandals. Those sandals are not allowed. You cannot go out with those sandals. You cannot have those sandals, not during the week and not during the Shabbos. Since you have the same type of sandal, Shabbos in the week, it's a sandal that's not allowed. Tani, it was taught in a brisa. Tala Allah matlin matamalin mutter. If one covered the other side of a sandal with a cloth, then it's permitted. No longer making that sound. No, and there's no problem. Rabbi Yudin b'shem Rabbi Yishmael havas raglei shachaka. Rabbi Yudin, the son of Yishmael, had a chafed foot, and it was necessary for him to wear such a hobnailed sandal for protection. The Avdun lay came, and they repaired it for him in this manner. They covered over the nail, and they also made it soft on the bottom, so therefore there shouldn't be any sakana of anyone hearing it. Kama masmerin yihibai. How many nails may it possess? And we're going to find out on the next daf.